Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about my empties. So this is going to be everything that I finished up throughout the month of November and December. Let's dive right in here because there's a ton of stuff, so I'm going to try to breeze right through it. First thing I'm going to grab is this horrible looking Real Techniques sponge that has hair on it. How nice. This is a sponge that is clearly not face colored. So I used this up for my Mystique Halloween costume that I recycled from last year. I wore it to an office work party and there's no salvaging this. This is blue from cream products, powder products, as well as translucent powder. It's actually like, it feels doughy on the top, so I don't even want to try to clean this. It's just dead. I'm using a new one now because I love this, but this one's a goner. Next one in here is a pack of face wipes. So these are by Kirkland, which is the brand that's sold at Costco. Now I'm not a Costco member, my mom is. So when I saw it's this insane tub box of face wipes, I was like, yes, I need that. In reality, they're not that great. They're okay. I mean, these are the moist flushable wipes, if I didn't already say it. They're fine at removing arm swatches, but I don't feel like there's enough moisture in the product to use it on my whole face to remove makeup. So not very serviceable for, you know, most consumers, but for me it works for removing swatches. I have a pair of lashes in here. These are by Kiss, and I'm not even sure what the brand name is on it because it doesn't actually say. There's something branded up here that says looks so natural, but I think that's just like their tagline. Either way, these were a 5-pack of lashes that I absolutely love. They have an invisible band, which makes it very easy to apply to your lid. And also, they're not super weighted down by lashes. These are on the more natural side of things, so I really enjoyed wearing these. I actually got them from my friend Samantha, who just has no need for false lashes because her natural lashes are beautiful. So she passed these on to me and I really like them. And it's a 5-pack and it's a drugstore brand. So I think that's a great deal because these are so good. Oh, this one just annoys me. This is the Skin Republic Foot Peel. So this is supposed to remove skin on your feet in 7 days, dead skin. And I've heard so many people trying these things out. They're like little foot booties that you put on and you let sink into your skin over 90 minutes. Take them off and like a week later you have like basically skin peeling off. I never really found that they did a whole lot. I had a little bit of skin peeling around day 8 or 9, but nothing like what other people have talked about. So overall I was pretty disappointed in these. Next up is a face mask that I actually did enjoy. So I've had a few of these in the past. This is the Skin Therapy Earth Therapeutics Refreshing Green Tea Mask. I got these from my brother-in-law and I had a number of them, it might be 5 or 10. So every time I've talked about this, I've mentioned that I've really liked them and it still holds true. I think these are great. I have a serum here by Bioderma. This is part of their Hydra Bio range. This is a really good serum. I use this after my toner and before my moisturizer, and I feel like it interacts very well with both sides of the equation. I feel sometimes you can get a serum that just sort of balls up and doesn't behave very well with other products. That was not the case with this one, and I do really like Bioderma's Hydra Bio range. I think they make really good products, and I'm one of those scent people, so I really like the way that this smells too. I have a body butter here by The Body Shop. This is their Satsuma scent, which has been a long-standing favorite scent of mine for 20 years now. I have very vivid memories of buying like their glycerin soap when I was 14 years old, and I've used the shower gel so many times over the years. So needless to say, Satsuma is a favorite of mine. So their body butter is huge, and this is the regular size that they make, and I like it, and it's a decent product. I feel it's a bit thick sometimes, so I don't necessarily use it every single day. It's more of a once a week thing. But I almost feel like there's just too much product in the large sizes. They make mini sizes, which I think I'll be sticking to from now on because it's just it's a better amount of product. Like, yes, there's a ton in here and you are getting probably better value for your buck with the larger size. But for me, a mini makes more sense because I want to try so many products out there that I feel like by the time I get halfway through this, I want to try something new. So I think I'm going to stick to the minis from now on. I have a body scrub here by BV Spa by Bon Vital. This is their sugar scrub in the pink grapefruit scent. I think these are great scrubs and I have enjoyed using it. Let me describe the scrub first. So it's a thick scrub. It's got really thick granules in it, which really help to exfoliate your skin. So from that aspect, it's really enjoyable. But the part that I don't like about this is that this packaging is just no good. I don't like sugar scrubs in this squeezy tube because even though I've gotten quite a bit of product out, I know that there's still some stuck in here because I can hear it. And it's just too impossible to squeeze out at this point without honestly breaking my nails. And I'm not into the whole cut the top off, scoop some out, put the top back on and pray you don't get water into it on the next time you shower. So for me, I would just much rather have a tub to ensure that I get all of the product out of this. Not surprising, but I have my favorite makeup remover in here. This is the Marcelle Gentle Makeup Remover for Sensitive Eyes. It does work on waterproof makeup, and frankly, it works on everything you could put on your face. This is one of those biphase makeup removers, so you do have the oil that you combine with the rest of the makeup remover, and this stuff destroys everything that you put on your face. I have never encountered a makeup product that can survive this kind of remover. I have a face wash in here by Marcelle Dermocosmetic. This is their creamy pumpkin cleanser, and I love this stuff so much. The name makes me smile because my name is Shell, so it's funny that it's called Marcelle. But this is technically for dry skin, but I don't feel like that's necessarily a requirement for use. The part that I like most about this is the fact that it smells so pumpkin-y. I've mentioned before that it kind of smells like a pumpkin spice latte, but I feel like it's a little bit more towards the pumpkin side of things. In general, the pumpkin spice latte scent is mostly cinnamon based. This is more towards pumpkin based. So I've really enjoyed using this, especially throughout October and in through November, because it's seasonal, right? Like it's that kind of smell that you want to be using around this time of the year. So really like this cleanser. Next up, we have a product that I did initially like, but is probably not for the intended purpose of this. So funny story with this, I got this in Iceland after I'd finished a half marathon race, which sounds really funny, but there was very few women that had completed this half marathon. It was a small race to begin with. I think there was like 100 or 200 people in it. And as I was finishing the race, it was one of my worst races to date, and I was kind of not delusional, but you're like really not with it after you've been running 2.5 hours or so. So I finish the race, I'm crossing the finish line, and this woman comes up to me. She doesn't speak English and I don't speak Icelandic, so the conversation didn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, but she handed me this kind of like gift basket containing 2 creams, and one of them was this one. So this is by Gamla Apotekid. It's called Dagkrem, which I think means day cream. In fact, I do know it means day cream because I've asked somebody at work who is Icelandic. So I brought this with me to Bali in Australia because I really wanted something for the plane ride there that was going to super hydrate my skin. And in hindsight, I didn't know if this was going to super hydrate my skin. I had never used it before, so the mentality there was not, you know, quite intact. But this did do that. This was super moisturizing. I never got dehydrated when I was in Bali or Australia, not even from the plane rides, which is unheard of because I'm usually like pretty dry by the time I get off a plane. I applied this when I was on the plane. And I have to say, for that purpose, it was fantastic. However, this does not work well under foundation at all. It behaves so poorly. I think it's just too moisturizing that it just reacts with foundation to kind of break it down. So for me, even though it's listed as a day cream, this is only a night cream, and this is only when I want to stay away from super dehydrated skin. I do not recommend this under foundation because this destroyed my makeup on so many occasions. I have a lip scrub here that has seen better days. This is by Lush, and it survived a breaking open of a holographic glitter polish in my bag one day. But nothing got into it, thankfully, so I was still able to use it. So this is by Lush, and this is their lip scrub in chocolate. I believe this got released for Easter, but I'm not sure if it's a permanent product. This stuff is incredible. It might only be labeled as chocolate, but it smells like chocolate oranges. Like the Terry's chocolate oranges that come out for Christmas time, that's exactly what these smell like. This was so enjoyable to use that I pretty much would reach for it just because I kind of wanted to lick this stuff off my lips. So the next product I have to talk about kind of makes me sad because I wrote a review about it. I did like it, I did enjoy it. I tried it for a full month before I posted a blog post about it. But I feel like after the blog post, like a month later, it just stopped working on me, and I don't really understand why. So this is the Body Shop's Hemp Rescue Balm, and I got halfway through it before I decided that no, this was no longer working for me. So I use this on heel cracks because I don't have great heels, and it was doing the job. For a solid month, it was keeping those heel cracks at bay, and then after about the 2-month mark, it just stopped working. So I don't really know what happened, but it makes me sad because I gave it a good review, and then all of a sudden it was just like not behaving how it had worked. So I don't know if my skin just got used to it, but in the end, this turned out to just not be for me. I have a face oil here by Korres. This is their Wild Rose, and I really like this. This is a little bit lighter of a face oil, so it's something I prefer to use throughout the summer, just because I didn't feel like it was thick enough throughout the winter. Now that being said, it's been perfectly fine as I finished it up in the last few months, so I feel like it's not necessarily just a face oil for the summer. But this one did definitely start to change color. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a little bit yellow now. This thing was completely clear when I first got it. So it's definitely time to throw it out, even though I have now finished it up. So I really like this, just to keep my face hydrated. So it's also kind of funny about this product is that I'm not much of a rose scented person. I just don't like the smell in general. But this one has almost like it's gonna sound funny, like an alcoholic rose scent, which just made it enjoyable for me. So for whatever reason, the scent combination on this worked out for me, which I'm happy about, because in general, when I smell something that's got rose on it, I don't want anything to do with it. So yeah, did really like this one. Next up, I have a body lotion. This is by Dermocosmetic. It's their Phytoplankton moisturizing lotion. I did really like this. I just felt like the tube wasn't big enough. For a body lotion, I feel like the size needs to be at least double this. This is 100 mils, and I feel like at least 200 or 250 would have been more appropriate, because I don't know, when I put body moisturizer on, I squirt quite a bit out and then like lather everything up. So I did like this, I just feel like it should be a little bit bigger. I've got a sponge here that I just did not enjoy. I think this is by Sephora Collection, and I don't understand this shape. I don't understand what crevice this is going into, but this did not work out for me. Not so much because of the shape, but the porosity, is that how you say it? Porosity of the sponge is just not comparable to the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I feel like this just sucked all my foundation up into the sponge and didn't really push it around my face very well. So for me, this was just a no-go. This is something that I probably should have thrown out a long time ago, because I think it might be 3.5 to 4 years old. This is by Fortune Cookies Soap, which is a really cute indie brand that you can only buy online, as far as I'm aware. And they used to put out these Fortune Cookies soap boxes, which I loved. The price got a little bit high over the years just because the dollar conversion was not great. But this was in one of those boxes, and this is their Marshmallow Dream Cuticle Cream. And in more recent years, I've started to take better care of my nails, which is why I've now used it up. But I'm pretty sure this thing is gone. Yeah. Whoa, it's gone off. I have finished it, and I think I finished it before it went really sour smelling. But I did like it to help moisturize my cuticles, but I really should not have kept this as long as I did. I've got 2 sets of lashes here by House of Lashes, which is one of my favorite lash brands. This one here is the Au Naturel lashes, which are very simple. They're very easy to apply. They're very small, so it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of lash. It's just something a little bit extra for your lashes. This one though, I don't know what happened. I've gone through about 5 pairs of these, but I feel like this one just didn't last as long as my other pairs have. I might have worn this 6 times, but I feel like I can usually get 15 wears out of them. So this next pair of lashes makes me so sad because I destroyed them by accident. So this is their Bombshell lashes, which are my absolute favorite that they make, but I made the mistake of not removing them before I applied makeup remover to my eyes. And now they're just like oil slicked and gunky, and there's no cleaning them off at this point. I cannot be bothered. So sad to say, I think I wore these twice and then I ruined them, which is just so sad. These do generally last around 15 wears, so yeah, it's just a bit too bad about that. I have a foundation here, which is one of my favorites, and I have repurchased this and used this up so many times. This is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. I have the shade 52, and this has been a long-standing favorite of mine. This is not high coverage, it's very lightweight, it is very serum textured, like it's very thin, and it's really only for people who want a little bit of coverage on their face. I have generally pretty good skin and I don't need a full coverage foundation. In fact, I don't even need a medium coverage foundation. So this is my preferred kind of foundation just because it adds that little bit of light layer of just evening everything out. So if you have a lot of skin problems, this is not the product for you, but if you're looking for somebody with just the faint whisper of foundation coverage, this is it. And it also smells fantastic. Like it's like ripe berries, but fresh. It's just a really pleasurable experience using this foundation. I have two eyeliners in here by Kat Von D, and the first one is her ink liner in the shade Neruda, which is just a basic white. I bought this because I really like the look of occasionally just using a white winged liner or occasionally adding a little bit of dimension to like creative looks where you add like a star or dots or something like that. But I have to say, I think a felt tip white liquid liner is not a great idea. Part of the problem is that this felt tip, if you're gonna use it over top of a color that's not white, it's going to pick up that color. So every time I use this over black, green, red, it didn't matter what color it was, the tip just got dirty. So I spent half my time wiping it off on my hand, just trying to get the color to go back to white. And even now it's kind of like a dingy brown, which is just blech. So sad to say, I think this kind of dried out and or just got used up by wiping it on my hand so much, because I really did not wear this that many times to justify having used it up. I think I might have worn this 5 times, which is really sad. But again, I think I just used this up so much by wiping off the tip of my hand. So in the future, for a white liner, I think I'm just gonna stick with gel or some kind of cream-based one. And the other liner I have here by Kat Von D has been a long-standing favorite. This is her tattoo liner, and this is a brush tip liner, so not a felt tip like the ink liner is. This is one of my favorites that she makes. Strangely though, I feel like the bristles splayed out a little bit quicker on this one, which has never happened to me before. So I ended up keeping this one in the office just because it was there for emergency situations, like in case I had a gap in my liner or something like that, and it eventually dried up. But I have used like 6 or 7 of these in the past, and I will continue to purchase them. Although I'm in the midst of trying out a few other pen style brush tip liquid liners, so it might be a little while until I buy this one again. I have a hand cream here by Art Deco, I think. This came in last year's advent calendar, but it's got something else written on it that makes me think that the brand Art Deco didn't actually produce it. It says Senses Asian Spa, White Lotus and Rice Milk, super rich hand cream and mask. I really liked using this at night before I went to bed. It's a perfectly serviceable hand cream and it does smell really nice. It's more floral than I normally go for, but there is that clean edge to it, so I really like using this, and you know, it's just nice as a little bedside moisturizer to use. I have a Too Faced mascara melt off here. This is a cleansing oil waterproof mascara dissolver. Was this fun to use? Absolutely. Is it necessary? No, not really. So how I would use this is that you just apply it to your lashes, generally waterproof mascara, but you can use it for any mascara. And it just helps to break apart the mascara waxes before you actually go in with an eye makeup remover. So no, it's not essential for use, but it does help to break up that mascara before you get in there with a makeup remover, which for some people I feel like they really struggle with waterproof mascara, so this will really help you to get that off. I have a pencil here that really just dried up on me. This is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in the shade Blacker. I love this pencil so much. It's the only thing that really stays put on my waterline. But the sad thing is that, well, you can see from the size, it's a sample size. So I got this as like a point perk or in the birthday set that Sephora does. The sad thing is that I didn't use this up all the way, but it dried out. I don't use waterline eyeliner all the time, so for me, for this to dry up when it's only a mini size means that I will never buy the full size because I just can't justify that kind of price tag. I think it's like over 30 bucks. I will only ever get this if it's a sample size or like a point perk. That being said, if you want something that's not gonna budge from your waterline, this is your pencil of choice. I have a peel off mask here by Boscia. This is their Sake Bright White Mask. It's supposed to make you look more radiant, more brightened. I can't say that I noticed any kind of brightening effect, but it was a heck of a lot of fun to use, and I did feel like it kind of pulled some impurities out of my skin. They may have to do with the fact that it is a peel-off mask, so you feel like you're ripping something out of your skin. Not that it was painful to use, but you get the idea. So brightening, fun to use, yes. Did it pull out some gunk from my skin? More than likely. I have a mascara here by Too Faced. This is their Better Than Sex mascara. It's just one of these minis that I think I got in like a holiday set last year, but I've only just recently opened it. I actually really like the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I think the formula is really good, which is surprising to me because it's quite dry overall, and I'm not somebody who likes dry formulas. My problem with this is that I feel like the brush is too big. And overall, it's not actually a big brush, but for me, I like really small conical ones. And even though I like the formula of this, I just really wish it came in a different size brush, because for me, if I'm using this, more often than not, I'm getting mascara on my upper lid. Sometimes I get it down here. It's just a mess all around. So I wish they had this formula in a smaller brush. Another product by Too Faced here. This is their Shadow Insurance. Again, another mini one. I probably got it in a holiday set last year. And eye primer takes me forever to get through. Even though this is a mini, it probably took me 6 to 8 months, maybe 10 months to get through. I've mentioned this before, but I need 2 eye primers for my eyes because they are just super creasy and they dissolve eyeshadow. So I had to use this in connection with another eyeshadow primer. But years ago, this did work for me on its own, so I would recommend it. But for me, for now, I just have to double up with something else. And the very last item I have to talk about is a lip balm, which is kind of surprising because I feel like we always lose our lip balms before we ever use them up. So this is the Fresh Sugar Petal lip balm. It's a mini size, so obviously it was a lot quicker to get through this one. And it's all gone. So the Petal shade is a little bit different than the other ones I've used by them. There's a lot of color pigment in there, which made it a little bit difficult to apply on the go, because sometimes I would apply it without a mirror, and then later on I'd look at myself in a mirror and I had it like way too far outside my lip line. So this one is not as chapstick-like as some of the other ones I have by them. This one's more of a like cream balm with a lot of pigment in there. So just something to be aware of. I do really, really like the lemon scent of these, but I have to point out the fact that these break really, really easily. I felt like I was often babysitting this chapstick just to make sure that it didn't like snap off all the time. So just something to be aware of if you're buying one of these. Whew. Okay, that is all of my empties in the last 2 months. And I have to say, thank you guys for all your nice feedback whenever I do empties. You guys always comment on the fact that I give reviews for the products that I finished, which I kind of just figured that everybody did. I don't actually watch empties because I don't feel like other people's garbage is that interesting, but I know you guys really like it and you seem to really like the format in which I do these videos. So thank you so much for that feedback. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye!